Hi, my name is Michael Vedini, and this is American Entrepreneur. Our guest today is Wade Younger, founder and CEO of Fruition Consulting, with offices in Atlanta, Charlotte, Washington, D.C., Phoenix, and Seattle. Fruition provides performance improvement consultation and organizational training for companies across the United States. Wade Younger is a sought-after speaker and author of 2 books on business leadership. Wade himself is an accredited project manager and has led projects involving infrastructure implementation, collaboration, and internet website design solutions for several Fortune 500 companies. Wade, welcome to American Entrepreneur. It's great to have you here.
Appreciate it.
You have been a busy man.
Yes.
And congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I'd like to start at the beginning. Where are you from, and where were you born?
Born in Newark, New Jersey, and then when I was 10, we moved down to Orlando, Florida, and then after Florida, I went to school up in Norfolk, Virginia.
And what was life like for you as a youngster in Newark?
In Newark, in the 60s, it was fun. I was sheltered from all the things that was happening in the area at the time, but for me, it was good.
Did you come from a large family?
4 sisters, no brothers, and I was the youngest.
Did you have a close family?
Yeah, pretty much. Mom and dad hardworking person, and mother homemaker, so yeah, we're pretty close.
What did Dad do for a living?
He was actually a truck driver, a long-distance truck driver, and that's what he did throughout his whole time until he retired.
Now, you moved at around 10 years old to Orlando,
right?
Is that correct?
Right.
And what was life like in Orlando for you?
Great. Orlando was a great place to live and grow up, being around the beaches and the water, Disney World, so it was good. It was a lot of fun.
And in junior high and high school, were those good times and good memories for you?
Yeah, they were. I was just being outside as an outdoorsy type person, played a lot of sports, so being in the climate where you could do that, it was just real conducive to a lot of fun. Same thing with high school.
Now let me guess, your sport wasn't tennis?
Not exactly.
You're built for, I'm guessing, football?
Exactly.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So if I went back to middle school or high school and asked some of your classmates about Wade Younger, what would they tell me about Wade Younger in those days?
In actuality, Mike, I was a very average kind of guy. Nothing really stood out. I love sports a lot. I played a lot of football, and people person, but nothing really distinguishing about myself.
And at that time of your life, as an adolescent, did you have dreams? I mean, what were your dreams as a youngster then?
Actually, it's interesting. At the time, I was informed that forklift drivers made good money.
Is that right?
So my aspiration was to be a forklift driver.
Right.
Yeah.
And I assume at some point, at what point did that change, I guess?
Yeah, see, it's all about exposure. And so once that went away, I went away to school and majored in computer science. And so that the forklift driving aspirations gave way to more technology.
I understand.
Uh-huh.
You came from a fairly sizey family.
Mm-hmm.
What was your father and mother, were those major influences for you?
Yeah, pretty much. My dad, he was a real advocate as far as hard work was concerned. His big thing was work hard, play hard, and just have a good sense of humor, and that measured a person. My mother was more the cerebral type person, save your money, treat people well, things of that nature. So it was a decent balance between the two.
Yeah. Were you then and now still close with the sisters, with the family, a big Younger family?
Yes.
Lots of kids?
Yeah, all of us are in our 40s now, so, you know, things kind of change and maturate, so yeah, we're pretty good.
Tell me about college. You selected Norfolk?
Yeah.
Norfolk State?
Norfolk State, right, in Virginia. In actuality, I wanted to go to the University of Florida. I wanted to play football there, but at 5'8", I just wasn't big enough, right? The other side of it, I actually wanted to go to Harvard, but I didn't have the grades for it. So the in between was Norfolk State.
Yeah,
you know,
I understand.
So, yeah, for me.
Did you have great memories at Norfolk State? You played football,
yeah,
is that right?
Yeah. It was it was a good time. Like any other freshman, as I think back, it was an adjustment at times, and once you kind of get into the program, it was good. It was a formidable time because I met some really good people, good instructors to help me mold who I was going to be in years to come.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Where were you in terms of knowing at that stage in your life, those college years, what you wanted to do? Did you know, I mean, were you one of those guys that always knew that you wanted to go out and become an entrepreneur or seek some type of leadership position?
Right. Yeah, I felt like at a point that I did have some leadership natural acumen. Where it was going to manifest itself, I wasn't sure, but you always felt like you were going to do something big, something of note.
Yeah.
As far as when and where, I had no idea, but I knew it was going to be something bigger than where I was at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then out of Norfolk State, you took your first position as a teller?
A bank teller. I was a bank teller.
So you got right into that entry-level mode right away.
Exactly, yeah.
Was that a good experience for you?
It was. Just looking for a job in technology. You know how it is coming out of college. You just want something. And so that was something that was available. Worked my way into the bank, and the position that they had was a bank teller position. So I took it, making $8,000 a year. It was stressful. But it was good because it helped me be responsible and learn responsibility.
So you would be a bona fide humble beginnings guy. Is that accurate?
Most definitely.
At $8,000 a year?
Yeah.
Of course, back then that wasn't too bad actually.
Yeah, yeah, right.
I understand. So when you were as a bank teller, when did you decide to leave the bank and move on?
Well, it wasn't all of a sudden. I knew I wanted to get into technology, so I just sort of worked my way from that into a higher position within the bank, and then went into a department that needed somebody with a technical background, so I kind of moved my way into that. After that time at the bank, I actually moved to a couple of banks, and then had an opportunity to be an MIS manager, so that was after about 5 or 6 years out of college.
Now, as an MIS manager, that's in information systems.
Yes.
So you finally had made your way back, apparently, to what your major was in
Yes.
college. In all of this, had you met your wife and started your family? Where were you on the personal front?
Shortly after college, I met my wife. She was actually vacationing in Florida, and for me, it was love at first sight. For her, it wasn't. You know, she gives me her phone number and say, "Don't call," okay? So anyway,
you were a real charm.
Yeah, really,
Yeah,
big time, big time. So she lived in Atlanta at the time, so it was you can see where my maturation to Atlanta took place. So we just met, and then dated for about almost 2 years and got married.
And you've been married how long now?
19 years.
19 years.
Yeah.
So it's been a wonderful relationship, apparently.
Yeah.
Now, you became an entrepreneur somewhere after that MIS job. How long into your career? How many years into your career were you when you decided I'm gonna leap out and take that risk?
Gotcha. It was about 7 years out. I enjoyed what I did. That's when the fire started to burn, where you realized you wanted to do more and you could do more. You see entrepreneurs do well, and you're just trying to find your niche. And I used to tell people, I'm next. Yeah. And then what that next was going to be, I didn't know. But I was actually at a weekly conference meeting within my department. My department head we were going through the statuses of different reports, and as he went around this large wooden table, he got to me to ask about a particular status on a project. I told him exactly and truthfully what I felt about the project and how it was going. He didn't like the answer, and so what he did, figuratively speaking, put on some golf shoes and ran up and down my back verbally. And I was like, my goodness, this is awful. And I got really mad about it. And I went back, I can tell I went back to my desk, gathered my things, and went to my car because it was really disturbing. I went to my car, I put my bag in the seat, and I went to adjust my rearview mirror, looked at myself, and I have tears in my eyes. Yeah. And I say to myself, Wade, do not ever let that happen again. Yeah. And because it's like I need more. Yeah. After that, that was a Tuesday. Wednesday, I called in sick because I was absolutely sick of my boss. Yeah. And then Thursday, I quit my job. I called everybody I knew, said I was starting a company, and kind of that's where it actually started.
When you went to start that company, as many people do, and it's sometimes an emotional time. It's oftentimes a time that is the result of losing your position as opposed to leaving your position. Did you lay out a business plan? I mean, were you one of those guys that laid out a detailed plan that knew exactly what you wanted to do?
Of sorts. In between that Tuesday and Thursday, I wrote down every idea I've ever conceived and how it would happen, getting even. I wrote down everything. But in essence, that plan turned out to be my business plan and my marketing plan to get my name and eventual company out amongst the masses.